One of the great things about your AUSRV X13 is it comes with an excellent canvas annex, great for accommodating extra people or more room to live when you have extended stays. In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to set it up from the beginning. It's best done with 2 people, but you can do it with just 1. My first step with setting up the annex on any caravan is the draft skirt. The draft skirt is canvas and it's attached to the caravan with press studs along the body. It's then pegged down on the bottom, and this particular one has 4 peg locations. With the X13, there's one small thing you must remember when you attach this draft skirt is there's a small sail track insert up this end towards the back of the caravan. When we attach it, we need to slide that into the sail track on the corner there. Then we can fasten our press studs and we're ready to move on to the next step. In your annex kit, you'll find 2 strips with sail track insert along the back and Velcro along one side. The longer of the 2 lives in this sail track at the front. You'll see it's got a little triangled corner piece in it. You insert it from the bottom, slide it up through the sail track to this position. So your little triangle is at the corner of the caravan here, and the Velcro sits as such. So when you stretch it out, the Velcro is this way, which matches the draft skirt. The other shorter piece goes in at the back, and I'll show you where that goes now. The other small piece with the Velcro on it goes at the back here on the vertical sail track. The top of the sail track is flared, so it's much easier to insert from the top and bring down to meet your draft skirt. And remember to ensure that the Velcro sits the same way as it does on the draft skirt. At this stage, we're ready to put the annex roof up. And to do that, we need to put the annex roof into 2 sail tracks up behind the awning and on the roof itself. Now these come in 2 forms. One is this section which can be zipped away from the main canopy, and on the main canopy itself there is a sail track insert sewn into it. The end where the zipper comes apart goes towards the back of the caravan. The front where the zipper insert goes in goes to the front, so you need to make sure you're inserting it in the right direction. So the back of the zipper, that's the front, the back of the zipper sits towards the caravan, so away from you when you put it in. So what we're going to do is going to separate this, insert this bottom piece into the bottom sail track, then we'll slide the canopy in above that. So again, I'll explain which direction we insert the bottom piece into the sail track. So we're looking for this end with the little zipper starting point that goes into the zipper slide, and you'll see it's got this little L shape and it slides up into the sail track up here behind me. Now I'm ready to slide the canopy roof into the sail track that runs along the pop-up roof itself. The only groove along the roof, you can't miss it. So what I've got in this position is our zipper for the section we just took off and slid in across the bottom. And here is our leading edge of the sail track insert on the canopy. So this is the section that goes at the front of the caravan nearest the drawbar. So I'm going to hop up on a little step ladder and I'm going to slide this into the roof. It's possible to do it with the roof lowered, but because I've got a step ladder, I've got the roof in the raised position and it'll be nice and easy to slide it through. At each end of the annex roof, there is a small sail track insert section. With this one at the back, it simply goes into the sail track, like so, bring it down, and it Velcros to the top of this thin strip that we put in earlier, same at the front. In those famous words that poor preparation will result in poor performance, what I've done is laid out all my poles relative to where they go when I set up the annex roof. I've got my spreader poles, my upright poles, my ridge poles which run across the roof from the outside towards the van. I've also put some tent pegs in the ground with ropes to help me as I put it up, because today it's a little bit of wind, it's blowing between 10 and 15 mile an hour at times. Doing it on my own, I haven't got anyone to stand there and hold things for me. So in preparation, I've got those ropes ready to go so I can rope the awning or Annex roof as I go. When you get your X13, there'll be a pole diagram packed inside. That's what you use to lay out your poles to make sure you get them in the right position. There'll also be a copy in the owner manual. To start off with erecting the awning roof, I've started one pole in from the corner. So my ridge pole, which is the pole with the little flat tab with the hole in it and the rubber boot at the other end, is slid into the sock up in the top of the awning. And there's two Velcro captive mechanisms to strap the pole in place and hold it firmly. And I've put my upright pole with the hole in it through the end and extended it. So that pole in the roof now is tight and will stay in its sock and hold position. This is to get the whole thing started. Now to secure it, because we've got a little bit of wind, I'm just going to put a rope down to the peg, hold that tight and continue erecting the rest of the awning just behind me. Now what I've done is I've grabbed my number 6 pole, which goes in the back corner here, and my number 7 ridge pole. And I need to put the number 6 pole through this eyelet here. So I'm going to extend it up. I'm going to put my ridge pole on top and place it through the eyelet. Now to keep it on this eyelet, I've got a rain cap. So these are to stop the water running inside the eyelet if it rains on your Annex. I'm going to put that on top. That'll help hold it in place. Now I can start putting up the rest of the corner. Now I've got my number 3 pole. My next step is to grab a number 2 spreader pole. Put that on top of the spigot as well. Bring the canvas over and put it through the eyelet. Now, in this position, I can start to use my little hooks, which are on the rubber strap, and lock that in the little pole there. What's that going to do is it's going to keep my canvas captive on top of that spigot. I can adjust my poles a bit, and to keep things in place, just put a rope over the top and tighten it up. Now to strengthen up this end, I'm putting my spreader pole onto the next spigot pole, pop that on top, pull the eyelet over, and just in the meantime secure it with the little rubber strap. What I've also done is extended the number 6 pole at the back and put the ridge pole in the corner into its Velcro and extended it to bring this end of the roof nice and tight. And I've put a spreader pole between this ridge pole and this ridge pole here just to stiffen up the back of it. With my ropes, I've actually got quite a sturdy structure. As you can see, it's a bit windy. We've got about 10-15 miles an hour of wind and we're having no problems at all. My next step is to get another number 1 ridge pole and place it into the sock up on the top of the awning at the back and Velcro it in place so I can continue setting up the front. Now I've placed my number 3 pole on top of the ridge pole. I can grab another number 2 spreader pole, place it on top and bring it back to my previous spigot pole. Place that over the top, put my eyelet back in, put my little bungee strap back into place. Now I can put this one into its eyelet. Now it's a repeat of what we did at the other end. I need to get my number 6 pole up into the corner and build up this corner with the ridge pole and the spreader poles across the front, and we'll join up this end to the rest of it. Again, don't forget your rain cap. Get that on top. Now we can get this end ridge pole into the Velcro and set up the corner. Now I can pop the ridge pole on my front spigot pole, then put my other front spreader on top. And while I'm here, pop the canvas over and hook it down into the little hole in the front. Now come back to this one. Put it over like so. Pile it back over. Now we can adjust up this corner and get some spreader poles on the inside. Across the front, there are these Velcro loops to put around the front spreader poles. Make sure you do those up. It'll hold it all in nice and tidy. Now we've got the basics of the Annex roof all put up. All that's left to do is put in all the spreader poles underneath while it's still at a low level. Give all the poles a bit of a trim, getting a little bit spot on. Then put our rain caps and some ropes on. Then we can continue on with the rest of the Annex. Putting the floor in at this stage of the Annex makes it a lot easier. I don't have to contend with the walls, etc. I've got plenty of room and I can lay my floor out in the same footprint as the roof. I've Velcroed it all down the side up against the draft skirt. So now it's ready to go. I can start laying out my walls and putting those up. To make life easy when I'm setting up my Annex walls, what I do is I lay the wall out, which allows me to bring it up close to the floor, and I can push the Velcro down securely on the wall while it's laying flat. If it's a bit dirty, wet, you can put a tarpaulin or some kind of cover down, then put your wall on that so you don't get it dirty. Today we've got great conditions, so I've just laid it flat down. Now, attaching the Velcro is super easy. What I've done to ensure my wall is in the correct position to the floor is I started at this corner. I know exactly where the corner of my Annex wall needs to be, and I know there's a corner here. So I've matched them up. I've got it sitting nicely. Now I can zip it up and finish off the end. Just to make it easy to get this wall into position underneath the roof, Velcro it up and zip it up. What I'm doing is undoing my little latch here and folding the edge of the roof up. Now I can connect the zipper, then Velcro it up. Now I can repeat the process with the front wall. I'm starting at this end at the wall I've already put up. That way I can line up the Velcro, which runs up the wall vertically, with the Velcro on this wall. That'll make sure everything's positioned properly with the floor as I've put it all together. Same process to zip this one up as well. Now I can start pressing down my roof Velcro and tidy up the other corner. When doing up the corners, make sure you match the top line of Velcro and the vertical line of Velcro. Get it round, get it started off, and you can actually use the pole behind it to firmly press the Velcro down. last piece to go in. You may have noticed up to this point that I haven't put any tent pegs in with the walls that we've put up. That's because now I'm going to actually jump inside the Annex, adjust all my poles, lay the floor out, make sure everything is nice and square, neat, tidy, and looks spot on, then peg it down because I know then it is right. Now I've pegged down the entire Annex, it's secure, all the internal poles are adjusted. That just leaves these two poles to put in. They're number 4s and they go at each end in the middle of the end walls and add a bit of extra support. That concludes how you set up the Annex on your AUSRV X13. Remember, before you take it out camping and use it, set it up at home and season it. To season the canvas, set it up as we have behind me and wet it down. Wet the entirety of the canvas and allow it to dry. Do that a total of 3 times. That'll swell the cotton in the canvas and make it a whole lot more water resistant. For more information, head across to our website and check out the other instructional videos on our YouTube channel.